$2.7 million fraud. Nigerian man jailed in US. Wife spared because of baby. Imagine flying thousands of miles for a better life only to land in prison. This is the story of Promise Okafor, a Nigerian now serving 9 years in the US federal prison for a multi-state fraud that shocked America and could even have destroyed Nigeria's reputation abroad. But this isn't just about one man. It's about a system. It's about a pattern and also a warning to us all. You are watching African Black Gold TV with stories that matters, with voices that can't be silenced. Promise Okafor and his wife, Joyce Emegini, were arrested at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport in March 2021 with over 200 ATM cards found on them. And that now calls for a kind of red flag, which the Homeland Security agent now launched a deeper investigation. And what they found was staggering. Some of those things that were found on them were phones, laptop, and legal filings reveals that Okafor and his wife ran a kind of massive unemployment scam, applying with fake identity across at least 5 US states, draining over 2.7 million from government benefit system that is meant to support real people during COVID-19 crisis. The surveillance caught them withdrawing cash from ATM across California, across Ohio, Arizona, Nevada, and Virginia. This wasn't a mistake at all. It was a methodical theft. Now, the sentence. In April 2023, Judge Mark Pinton sentenced Okafor to 108 months, meaning 9 years in prison. His wife was spared of prosecution. That's temporarily though anyway, so she could go and take care of their infant baby. But Okafor must now repay every kobo of his stolen funds, over 3 billion worth of naira. And the judge said, after Okafor might have served his sentence, he will be deported back to Nigeria. But even now, he's begging the court for early release. But his motion was denied. They did not grant him that motion at all. You need to serve that your sentence before you'll be deported back to Nigeria. That sentence must be full. What is the impact of Mr. Okafor to prison? Behind this fraud is a family. A baby boy now growing up without his father. A woman left to raise a child all alone under legal scrutiny. For what? Because of greed and a shortcut to riches that led this man straight to prison. But here's the part that terrifies us the most. People like Okafor often return to Nigeria and are celebrated. They build houses, throw parties, donate to churches, and then they run for public office. And because Nigeria lacks a functioning background check system, tomorrow you could have someone like Mr. Promise Okafor sitting in the state assembly, controlling budget, or even signing contracts while hiding a criminal past. The danger isn't just worth they stole, it's worth they will do next if left unchecked. We all remember Hush Puppy, the Instagram millionaire caught in a global scam ring. We remember even Infectious Obi, once hailed by Forbes magazine, now a convicted cyber criminal. Even former governors with foreign conviction. These people mentioned they weren't just nobody. They were influencers, CEOs, inspirations until the truth came out. So not all of them that you see like that their background is clean. The lesson here is that shine your eye because not all success stories are clean. The worst thing is say some of these fraudsters don't even use their own name. What if someone use your identity, your name, your date of birth, and even your SSN or your BVN, and then you now suddenly find yourself unable to open a bank account, of even the go worse, facing criminal charges for Bodoibo for crime you did not even commit. It's happening more often than you think. This story today, why does it matter to Nigerians in diaspora and also Africans in diaspora? Every time a Nigerian is caught in such fraud, the entire community pays the price. More visa rejection, more suspicions at the airport, and even more profiling. That person is not the only one that will face the music. Other Nigerians or other Africans, they will use the same brush to brush them. Meanwhile, hardworking diaspora Africans, nurse, truck driver, care workers are now being looked at the side way. This is why we tell our stories to separate the criminals from our community. What if these criminals at the end of the day, what if they get to rule us? Don't you think it can happen? And just think about it this way. If Okafor wasn't caught, maybe one day he will return to Nigeria. He will go there to contest as a governor or even manage the state budget. No one will ask questions. No one will even check. And this same mindset is already destroying our civil service and institution. These people are not just thieves. They are taking time bomb for any country that welcomes them without vetting. Let this be a warning. Fraud doesn't just destroy lives. It destroys reputation, family, and future. As Africans abroad, we must work double, not just to earn living, but to protect our image. Now, let's ask a question nobody seems to be asking. What happens when Promise Okafor finishes his jail term and is deported back to Nigeria? What happened to him? Promise will be released from an American prison and will be sent back to a system that is nothing like where he just spent years of his life. No reintegration program, no psychological support, no real second chance will be given to him in Nigeria. Just stigma, judgment, and a country where the same desperation that pushed him into crime still exists. Will Promise truly change in that US prison? Or will he come out more hardened, more connected to a network of fraudsters from around the world who will teach him how to do it better next time? That is also another thing in the prison. Because let's just be honest, sometimes prison doesn't reform. It only recruits people because you meet so many different types of crime, in the prison there, and they will teach you the stuff that you failed in. And if the American immigration doors are closed to him forever, where will he turn to next? Will he go to Canada, nor to the UK, nor even to Asia? Because the way it's going on now, the moment they deport him, Trump might completely close American door on him. And then the sad truth is that many people like Promise will try again and again and again under new names, under new identity. As more countries now, they are tightening their borders. Even the digital surveillance is now becoming more striker and more tighter because that name already is going to be in the computer of America. And the Promise has no choice. Probably, it might just change his name to Morufu, to Mufu, to Subaru, or to Suberu, or whatever he choose to name himself. But this story, Gagan, is not just about Promise, right at all. What about his wife? She is now left alone with a newborn baby in a foreign land. What do you think will happen? Will she be able to walk and raise that child on her own, all alone? Because it's not going to be easy. You walking and at the same time raising a child in America. No nanny, no omodo, nothing. Because in the US, having a spouse in prison often trigger social worker monitoring, especially if there's a young child involved. Because she must be placed by social worker under scrutiny. And will she be able to financially cope? What about the emotional toll? Because history has shown us in cases like this, some wives walk away tiffy-tiffy, some filing divorce. Some will prefer to raise that child alone and try to start all over again. It happens. We've seen it. Even sometimes, before they even kick you, before they lock you up in jail, there will be some guys that will be toasting your wife. And your wife will also be doing some kind of kurukere work. While others will stay and carry the shame of that their husband's choices. Because the husband prefer to put his hand into some mago thing. So some ladies, they would rather just stay there, face the shame because they spent the money together when the good was rosy. Either way, that baby boy born innocent is already carrying a story that may follow him for the rest of his life. What's your take on this? Should Nigeria start publishing lists of convicted fraudsters abroad? Or should EFCC and INEC run a kind of foreign background check on political aspirants? Let's have this conversation in the comments. Your opinion matters. Promise Okafor's story is sad, but what even sadder is that there are many more like him still out there, untouched, uncaught, still scamming people and still unchecked. But with your voice and this platform, we can expose this story and maybe, just maybe, help stop the next scandal. Thanks for watching African Black Gold TV. If this story opened your eye, hit the likes button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more truth-driven diaspora story. You need to say this next one too.